Hi guys, welcome to lecture number 2 of Pytest. So guys, today we'll be talking about fixtures. So see guys, usually in industry a lot of people use this fixture method because guys you have to define just one sample data and then you can reuse it. You are able to see how you are able to just create a sort of a dictionary thing, and then you are able to call it directly that assert add a and b. So 5 plus 3 8. Okay, AC 5 plus 0 5, and then AB, that's 5 plus 3 2, 5 minus 3 because we are checking it for subtract, and similarly guys 5 minus 0 5. So you are able to see guys that how by normally just tweaking in your decorator in the starting that you are using pytest.fixture, you can just place in your data that you want, and guys you are able to reuse the data. So the main thing about this code is reusability. Okay, so only one time you need to define your test cases. Those same test cases, or not test cases, exactly the same data can be used over here or here as well. So guys, this is part one of the game that you need to be good with. The second part is guys, that I have planned for today is, first of all I've created a new file that's maths underscore one.py. So guys, see, first of all I'm creating a simple function that is addition, and what it is doing, if not is instance, so it is checking that if the data type of a is int or float. Okay, if it is not that, and if it is not, if a if b is also not of the same type. So to do addition you require numbers in int or float. Okay, if someone, the user will give you the input 2 plus a. So guys, here your application, if you're creating a addition based application, it can crash. Now if you haven't handled this error before, you might face this error. So that is why guys, when you're developing test cases with Pytest, you always try to think about the edge cases as well, which the user might input, or some people might maliciously try to attack your website, and this can really just crash your website, so it won't look good, right? So we are just checking that if the data type of a is int, that is integer, or float. If it is not that, same for b, then I need to raise a value error, which makes absolute sense guys, because both of the inputs must be numbers. And otherwise guys, you're just writing your basic subtract function similarly in the same lines. Now just see how will I do the testing for it. So let's just go to this file that I've created. So see guys, here again, as I said that this lecture is dedicated to fixture, so I have defined one fixture. So what I have defined is three data points a, b and c, and then I'm checking it like I was normally doing it. But now guys, imagine, just imagine that you have your user coming in and typing a3. That means he is passing a3. So guys, this should raise a value error. So guys, this is how like you write a function in a pytest. First you start with diff, then the function name, then with dot pytest dot raises value error add. So whenever add a and 3 will run, it should raise a value error, right? Which makes sense because a is not an integer or float, so it should raise a value error. So you're able to see guys how we are able to automate testing. Okay, now the same for this also. So 5 minus b is nothing guys. Okay, 5 minus b will raise an error because b is not int or b is not float, so it will obviously raise an error. So it's just this thing that you need to be a little careful with, so that you could really write good test cases. So just think about edge cases as well. So I'll tell you, let's say you create an ML application, okay, and you take two inputs, and the like you get the third input. Let's say you take x, y, so, and z is the variable that you wish to protect. Now just imagine guys, user enters a over here and 10 over here, and this is some sort of linear regression, so your system might crash, right? So nowadays usually some people use some frameworks like Streamlit and all, so they in backend only handle such cases, but it is always good to know, because I'll tell you guys, let's say you're, where will this be used? Very important question, where will this be used? This is a skill which is much more important than any skill as of now, because of two reasons. Because AI is at its peak, code generation is going to be mostly via AI. You have already seen that AI has reached about to be honest about 99.9 percentile in code forces, so it is already amongst the 0.1% of the competitive programmers, and it would like bypass others as well. But just try to understand that this is not a very like a great benchmark, because like most people don't do competitive programming at work, so that's okay. But just try to understand, guys, that once you are designing the second point where this once you are designing API, right? So what happens once you create APIs is that the front end person can enter any data, so you need to make sure that you are testing it, or you are like properly writing test cases for it, right? This test case, this is very important. So for the time being, just stick to the basics, and slowly we'll build things up on how to do more things. So this is a very important lecture specifically covering picture. On that note, like, I would like to end, and guys, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.